Is there
There's a
Scott
few
the
more
Woz fanfic on
crossovers.
AO3?
There's gotta be. I haven't checked.
Scott the Woz, because he has characters.
I'm recording right now. This is gonna go into the video.
Oh, there is a Scott Wozniak tag.
Yes. How many?
19.
Any mature ones?
Let's see. Ooh, there's one explicit.
Fuck yeah. Is it with
Okay. No, okay.
Subway employee?
no, okay. So the ship is Scott Wozniak slash Dr. Jerry Addicts.
Who's Jerry
His
Addicts?
his I think that's his therapist.
Oh.
The other ship is Jeb Jab slash Terry Lesler.
Jeb. Who's the angry one? Who's the one that kept shouting?
I think that's Rex. Rex. Yeah. Wendy's employees slash Rex
Yes.
Mose.
Ah, I thought it'd be is it wait, who employee?
Wendy's employee.
Oh, Wendy's and Subway. Wait, was there a Subway employee? I'm a fucking idiot.
Is there a Subway?
I don't think there
I'm
was.
so
I'm
I'm
an
so
idiot.
behind on my Scott the Wozniak lore.
The one that got liked Jex. What was his name?
Jex?
Gex.
Oh, Gex. He was a vegan, right?
Oh wait, I thought they were like different characters.
But like
Maybe
the same actor.
acted by the play. Yeah.
Okay. I just assumed they were the same person with varying personality traits.
No, I think my theory is that they're all in different parallel universes.
Each video is its own parallel universe.
Yes. Or each
All right.
like the series with the really bad Nintendo games in 2014, that's a different universe, and then the one where they all got murdered.
Wait, there was a Scott Wozniak like Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Wait, did the timeline split in the Borderline Forever video? Shit.
Yeah, the fucking Madden '08. What was it? What was the video game? What was the basketball one?
Madden basketball hoops something. Fuck.
Well, yeah, the video with the Madden song.
Isn't that the Madden one?
God, wait, what? I'm sorry. We are like off to a wild start.
You better.
Wildly unrelated.
You know the PCP podcast? They make like hour-long lectures on stuff like Guilty Gear and Chris Chan, stuff like that. I think
Yeah.
we have an obligation to do one on Scott the Woz. There's already one on Linkara, I think. You know
Linkara?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I watch Linkara. I still do,
Nice.
unfortunately.
I don't know how much. I mean, you say you'd stopped watching AVGN and Nostalgia Critic. I don't know how much. What was it? The dignity Linkara has above Spoon. Spoony.
I feel like Linkara is like more dignified than like
Yeah, fair enough.
Nostalgia Critic. I feel like in terms of
I haven't
social
watched
clout.
them, but okay.
Yeah, I feel like in terms of social clout, like there's Doug Walker at the bottom, Linkara above him, and then above Linkara there's like AVGN, and maybe above that there's like I don't know, fucking H Bomber guy or something.
No, there's no way H Bomber guy isn't part of the OG reviewer art club.
Oh,
Fuck
yeah,
those
no.
guys. It's my
I feel
club.
like nowadays I've kind of grouped together like the angry reviewer genre with the video essay stuff.
Ew. What's wrong with you? Completely different. Oh, fuck. Have you heard of this new guy that I'm absolutely addicted to, Tim Rogers? He used to be part of Kotaku.
Kotaku? Tim Rogers.
Action Button Reviews.
Action Button. Does he have a YouTube channel or
yes,
what?
he does. He makes like 4-hour-long video game analysis videos. They're great.
God. Yeah. Anyway, Shin Godzilla, huh?
Shin Godzilla, am I right? Hello and welcome to another episode of Ray B Rates. We lost the fucking titular character because they're so incompetent. Fuck that dude, by the way. I really want to say.
Was there a falling out that I am not aware of?
No, I told you, we were playing Genshin Impact just yesterday, but he decided to use that time to play Genshin Impact with me instead of watching the fucking movie. Fuck, Jesus.
Wow. Well, his loss
Uh,
because
yeah,
Shin Godzilla is
it's a
this
modern
this sure is a this sure
masterpiece.
yeah, this sure is cinema, ain't it, Neff?
I watched it on my shitty laptop. It has a tiny screen. I can barely see. Godzilla is just a pixel. But yes, I can
Nice.
still tell it was good.
Yeah. So, Godzilla, we all know Godzilla. We all love him. He's that big old lizard fella. Um
Sure
but
was.
in this 2016 film, we're getting Godzilla with a new twist.
Uh,
And
uh,
it's a twist provided to us by director Hideaki Anno, and I'm looking up the
Stat
writer for
fact
this
it.
film.
Hideaki Anno made the other big robot anime, Mechs. Gundam?
Yeah,
Gurren
he made
Lagann?
a Hideaki Anno made that masterpiece, short movie that's just him in like an Ultraman snuggie.
Oh yeah, that guy. So you're watching the
Yeah,
same movie made by the Ultraman Snuggie guy. He's pretty good.
yeah, he's pretty good.
The alien.
This
Yeah.
Yeah, that alien guy. Shin Godzilla was directed by Hideaki Anno and written by. Oh, it was also written by Hideaki Anno. Okay.
Really? Just him? I'm sure there's a team of writers.
Yeah, it probably was, but he's the one credited as the writer. So. Hmm.
So yeah, it's all made, voiced, acted. Hideaki Anno. He's great. He
Yeah,
was
it's all.
Godzilla.
It's all. Yeah,
He
you know
drank a
how like.
potion to become
Yeah,
Godzilla.
you know how like the great man philosophy that the movements of history are all decided by the actions of like individual great men, and you know how that's kind of antithetical to how the real world works, where groups of people come together and make things happen. That is true, except for Shin Godzilla, where everything was indeed created by Hideaki Anno.
Love that man. To just
Yeah, he
bless
personally
him.
made a
His
real
own
life scale
hands.
Tokyo,
Just a
a real
shovel.
life scale Tokyo, just so his Shin Godzilla he genetically mutated could
He
atomic
genetically
blast it
mutated
to the
himself.
ground.
He
Yeah,
drank the potion.
he
He made the atom bomb.
yeah
He started World War
he
II.
was yeah he was ejected from the cock of God himself and was the sperm that germinated the world.
Okay, this is getting real weird, real fast. Can we just get a recap, please? Do you have that on
Okay.
note? Okay, wait. Let's
Okay.
before that, let's get our abstractions, our opinions, our general just if this movie is
All
good or
right.
not. A binary note, 0 or 1. Is it good or is it slaughtered or salvaged?
You first or me?
You can go first. I'm trying to
I really I really like this movie.
damn.
I it, it's the movie is a lot. Like I feel like intentionally,
So
stylistically,
fucking
it's a very
much.
overwhelming movie at times, but I feel like it works really well for what the feel the movie is going for, which I'll probably like elaborate later on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it what the sensation of watching this movie for me was
Briefly.
how it feels to keep up with the 24-hour news cycle.
24-hour news. Elaborate.
You know how like nowadays news like we have just so much of it all the time coming at us from every single angle.
Sure.
Like like you go on social media, you see all the stuff that's trending, you see like all the war and like just all
The
the
war.
horrible awful things going on in
To
the world
Twitter.
at
Yeah.
all times. And
It's
that overwhelming feeling of dread you feel like seeing that. Shin Godzilla, I think, captures that feeling more than any other movie I've seen.
not just that. It's being siphoned to you like a septic tank with just a wire going into you, and it's constantly feeding you all this terrible shit. So I think
Yeah.
it's the density and the content of how fucky it is.
Yeah.
What's my
How do you
notes?
feel about the movie?
Well, I think it's a fucking modern masterpiece. It's a beautifully made cosmic horror movie. It's one with enrapturing, cathartic moments and Godzilla destroying
Mm,
everything. Great action, and also a lot of
right.
thoughtful, what's we call it? Thoughtful messages implanted into it with a bunch of these characters going through a bunch of hard shit. I think
Yeah.
at first, have you heard of this before? It was like Hideaki Anno's, or it's supposed to be a response to the 2014 Tohoku earthquake.
Yeah. Yeah. I did hear
What
that.
was it?
Uh, I think when I was doing research on this movie after watching it,
You picked
someone
it up.
pointed out that the specific imagery used is more reminiscent of like the fire bombings.
The fire bombings from World War II?
Yeah. No, hold on. The fire bombings of Japan. So the fire bombings of
Uh,
Tokyo were like, yeah, it was a series of like air raids carried out by the U.S. during World War II.
okay.
Um, and is like the single most destructive bombing raid in human history. I'm gonna send you like the fucking Wikipedia image of it,
Uh,
and like,
I I watched The Grave of the Fireflies. I think I get the message.
yeah,
Oh,
but like,
in black and white. Okay.
yeah, like compare that image to like the image of Tokyo post Godzilla atomic blasting it.
I can't I can't tell what's going on. Is this in the sky? Whoa.
It's in the sky. It's in the sky. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
What is it about?
um, yeah.
I don't
There is a lot wrapped up in the movie in terms of like history and politics, specifically about Japan's military.
uh I mean, I thought it was more about like the government's
Well,
handling of big natural disasters.
yeah, but there's also like a sort of through line going through the movie of like the U.S. kind of
Just wanting to
like
nuke everything.
yeah wanting to nuke everything and also like kind of being the like the guys who are actually in charge because that's kind of like the situation with Japan.
Yes.
Militarily, the U.S. is the
A
people
lot
who are in
stronger,
charge
yeah.
of Japan.
Oh, the US. I thought it was Russia. Maybe I'm just mistaken.
No, no, because Japan doesn't have a military right now. It's all like U.S. air bases over there.
Huh. About the raid bombing thing, I did think it was about the Tohoku earthquake. I mean, it was in World War II, right? But this looks
The,
like there's like skyscrapers and skylines in the movie.
uh, well, yeah, but you know, like the image of Tokyo
Godzilla's
on
not.
fire is probably more reminiscent to a Japanese viewer of the bombing of like the fire bombing of Tokyo than the Tohoku
Hmm.
earthquake. I
And
think we
that
should do a recap of this movie.
and that big fucking sea monster as well, shooting the big laser. That's reminiscent. You fucking.
Sure, Nap. I guess metaphor and analogy is dead.
I don't know the difference. Okay.
Okay, let's before we go way too deep into this, let's do a little recap
If they
of
wanted
Shin
to do
Godzilla.
a fucking fire raid bombing, they should have just made Grave and the Fireflies live action, but okay.
So Shin Godzilla is kind of about the Japanese government and the sort of Japanese self defense force kind of grappling with the emergence of Godzilla from the sea. There are a lot of like characters sort of moving about, turning the wheels of government and politics and economy to fight Godzilla, but centered to the movie's narrative is a minister named Rando Yaguchi. He's like
Never heard.
the chief cabinet secretary of Japan. He was
Never
like the
heard.
first guy who realizes that there's a monster emerging out of the sea, and he and his team kind of go off on their own trying to figure out both the mystery of how Godzilla came to be and how to stop him.
Wait,
That's basic. Huh?
is that a recap or is that a synopsis?
Is this not? Is that not the same?
No, synopsis is like, here's what the movie's about in a short sentence. A recap is this entire movie in a few
Yeah.
paragraphs.
I guess that was like a recap, like a short recap.
Uh, they stop. Wait, did you mention the coagulant and how they stopped him? I'm an
Oh
idiot.
yeah, yeah. So at the end, spoilers, I guess. Uh,
Fucking.
Godzilla. They beat Godzilla by like chilling his blood because his blood is atomic.
Oh, is that why? I think we're uh underestimating the science. But yes,
I
blood is
mean,
atomic.
yeah, yeah. So basically, they beat Godzilla by freezing his blood.
Dude, they made like a fucking. They made a giant origami of Godzilla. That's what's we call it? That's science.
What? They did they?
Yeah. Um. Like okay, there was this past scientist, right? That was
Yeah, yeah. Goro. His name was Goro.
Akechi Goro from Ryuki. Yes. Okay, so Akechi Goro from Ryuki, he made like a big ass circular paper, and no one in the department of
Oh
science was like,
yeah,
what the fuck even is this? So the guy was
yeah.
like, hey, let's fold all this shit up into a Godzilla-like thing, and then they did, and
Mm,
then they started making
yeah,
sense of it.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, that did happen. This movie
That
is a
sure
lot.
happened.
Like the synopsis, the little recap I gave was like pretty, simple sounding, but like this that doesn't is not representative at all of the experience of actually watching this movie because there are so many named characters in this movie. Like every single
Yeah.
minister we see, every single like public official we see dealing with the crisis gets like a short little like name card to them. And like when you're like starting to watch the movie and you like don't know what's going on,
Yeah,
you
you're
don't know any of these characters, the sudden onslaught of names is like so
yeah,
overwhelming that I
overwhelming.
literally had to like pause it for the first time just to like get my bearings on the situation.
I was gonna ask, like, did anyone really read the subtitles? I didn't. I just kind of tried going through the movie and not reading the titles, names, or anyone, and I didn't know who anyone was. Maybe that's the reason why I didn't really care about any characters at the start. There's no real introduction.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean, I didn't
like
even know who Yaguchi was until halfway through the movie, until I knew he
yeah, yeah,
was.
no.
Yeah.
I think that's how you're supposed to watch it. Like that's eventually how I started taking it in after like getting used to the flow of the movie.
Yeah.
But like in the beginning, it really is just like a torrent of names you don't like use as a slight against it. But I think it really works in the context of Shin Godzilla because it's like a disaster situation, and you're like
Yeah.
in disaster situations. There's like just so many people, like so many like pieces in the governmental body that are moving, and it kind of recreates the chaos and like kind
Uh,
of panic that comes with that situation. I think it stylistically
to
works really well.
To sort of add upon that, I mean, this movie was made in like the government's perspective, right? And I think like really the only people care about you personally is your name and like your title and nothing else, which is why that's the only introduction that we were given either. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's
makes
kind of
sense.
yeah, it's kind of like a little point like later in the movie of like uh sort of the whole bureaucracy of the situation, like uh, you know like the actual process of dealing with the problem is also overwhelming because you got to go to this guy who's got to go to this guy who's got to go to
Yeah.
this guy, commenting on sort of what is apparently like Japan's infamous like level of bureaucracy
Yeah,
like
and like
within government.
it shows their like incompetency in like actually dealing with a problem, which is their response to the whole Tohoku 2014 earthquake thingamajig.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah.
About the name thing, I mean, I understand because, it's in the government's perspective, but in a movie sense, I don't know who to
Mm.
care for or what to
Yeah,
feel or just who.
yeah. Yeah. I will again like defend that bit uh hold on by citing like how I felt watching, which is like the news cycle. Because
It's a
when you're
good movie, by
watching,
the way.
because when you're taking in the news cycle, that it is kind of your experience with like names. Like you
Yeah.
just see so many names of like government officials who like you're like that are like otherwise meaningless to you, but are apparently important in dealing with this
Apparently
crisis. Like
important. Uh-huh.
for me, it was like seeing all those names flash up, like evoked that sort of bit of like he's there here's here fuck I can't talk today.
That
Like
sure is him.
here are all the people who matter in this crisis, but who don't personally matter to you, which is like the feeling
Okay.
I get when I like, you know, like open a TV news station and like watch coverage of COVID or something.
Yeah, that makes sense. I wasn't really getting the news cycle message from this movie until you brought it up. But then I realized that at the start there were people like social mediaing and Instagramming, like, "Hey, look, we're having so much fun going down this slide
Yeah,
while a bunch of Godzilla
yeah.
is going us."
Is the slides thing real? Is that a
I mean, the
thing?
slide in the boat thingamajig, they were trying to get to safety. That's the context, I think.
Hmm.
The slide sure was real. Fun scene. Interesting dialogue. Put, put some conversation in this. God, insert something, please.
Wait, sorry, wait. You were kind of audio was audio was going to crap a little bit. What did you say?
Ooh, I'm gay. Uh, let's
Congrats, man.
let's go to that one note that you have because we're already dwindling. Just kidding. I mean, I have a bunch of
Oh,
notes.
okay. Yeah, yeah. My one note that I wrote at the beginning of this movie, another stylistic choice. I liked the bit where you see Yaguchi like put down a phone, but the way it's shot, it kind of looks like you're a little person looking up at him, which is kind of like evocative of the
That's
whole
funny.
kaiju thing. I thought that was fun.
Picking up a was that your only note? Congratulations.
That was the only note I wrote down.
Uh,
the
uh,
Yeah, the other note that I was halfway through writing down was "Damn these kids and their phones," in
yeah.
reference to the characters like looking out at like the blood breaking through like the tunnel
Fuck.
walls and like tweeting about it.
Wait, the Godzilla blood, or is that the water that was going into the bridge?
I
That's
think
I just
both.
step
That was
on.
like
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that was both of those things from the start of the movie.
It's just a show of how good the movie was. It's so engrossing that all Gal fucking wrote about it was making Yaguchi make you feel small.
Mr. Rando Yaguchi stepping on me. That was the only thing I took away from
He's
this
gonna take your
movie.
phone. It's like the Ultraman thing.
The what?
He's gonna his hand is going to the camera and he's gonna take your
Oh,
phone.
yeah, yeah. He was. It was more like he was giving me his phone because he was putting his phone down.
Wait, what part is this in the movie? I don't remember.
Like Yaguchi is answering a call about like the tunnel collapse, and then he like hangs up, and then he like slams the phone down. But the way it's shot, like we see it from the perspective of like the port that the phone is going into, so it looks like the phone is kind of like it's shot like the way that you would shoot a person getting stomped on by a kaiju.
Stop.
What?
Could you tell was that intentional or is that just like
Oh,
I
that
mean
was
it must have
definitely
been.
yeah, that was definitely intentional. Like this is a
Fuck.
Godzilla movie. Of course, they're trying to evoke like kaiju imagery.
Okay. Let me
Do you
just
have anything? Do you have anything to say, or not? Because I do have something I do want to say about the movie.
about the phone. Well,
No, no, no. Segueing from kaiju imagery, I love the proto Godzilla design that we got in the beginning
Yeah.
parts of this movie.
It's so fucking goofy. I love it.
It's so goofy. I have to do this is intentional
He
too, but
doesn't
it
have
does look
bones.
like it does look like it moves and looks the way I would imagine like an old Showa like kaiju suit to move.
Its eyes are
Like
so big.
it's
It's
so big. It's
it's
so good.
I was watching this with my sister, but she didn't really pay attention. But the one time I called attention to it was I pointed at the screen at his tiny little stupid arms, and then we both laughed out loud, very loudly.
It's so good. I love it. It looks cute too is the
Movie.
thing.
Yeah, I mean, I
Well,
I think it still made sense in the context because it's still a giant fucking monster run away from
yeah, yeah,
shuffling things.
it's horrifying in like that uncanny way that maybe
Yeah.
like a lot of those old like sort of suits could be. But God, he has stubby little arms too.
It didn't skip leg day. It has really fucking thick
Yeah.
legs. I love it.
I love his fucking Kermit the Frog ass like
Can't believe.
you know like white eyes like just unblinking round eyes. I love that shit. I if that was the Godzilla for the rest of the movie, I
I
would be so down.
I want the plushie of it. It's honestly
It
the first
yeah,
30 minutes of it, it was on screen, and then the shitty fucking part where it had to evolve. The
yeah.
score immediately went to 0. The rest of the movie isn't worth watching. There you go. That's my review. Good night, everyone.
Oh, they did make plushies of it. Do you want to see
Wait,
them?
what the fuck? How expensive? Give me one.
Hold on. Oh yeah, this is the Bandai one.
Uh, it's made specifically from the Godzilla Resurgence 2016 one, right?
Yeah, what?
Oh my god, I want to see this. Too bad the people at home can't. Fuck those guys.
Yeah, fuck those guys uh in
Fuck
this like
you listening to
thing
this
made to be
right
heard
now.
and
Oh my god. It doesn't
presumably watched.
doesn't even
Fuck
have
you, viewer.
arms.
Well,
It doesn't even have arms in the plushie. What? It's amputated. It's a Kato. It's supposed to go to Yamaku Academy of Katoa Shoujo.
yeah, I think it kind of like the Godzilla in the movie kind of has stumps.
Stumps for
When it's
arms.
like in this crawling stage.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like yeah, stumps for arms. Yeah.
Wi-Fi
Anyway,
problems.
yeah.
Oh, wait, can you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, what was that?
What? What?
What
What?
song was that?
Uh, oh, that's the ending to Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, I've never seen an anime in
You
my life,
pleb.
so I don't know
That's
that.
it. We're ending this. I don't know how many times I'm gonna make the joke. I'm gonna end this podcast. Surprisingly, we were on
Okay.
30 minutes. I expected this to take, yeah, about this amount, but I think we're just scratching the surface. So,
Yeah,
this movie's so
cause
fucking
okay.
much.
Yeah, this movie's I expressed this to you and our unnamed third host, may he rest in peace. Um, but like I like this movie. After watching
Uh-huh.
it, I felt like less prepared to talk about it because there's just
Um,
so fucking much in this movie that is like it's a packed movie. Like there's a lot of stuff going on. There's also a lot of like subtext here that I feel like kind of goes over my head as a non-Japanese like audience.
okay.
Um, like the stuff I mentioned before about like the kind of military and political tension that inherently exists between the US and Japan and the like how that's kind of explored in this movie. And like another thing that's kind of explored in this movie is like the strength of
Mhm.
Japan's military cuz like less the strength of it and more like the independence of like the military's the the military and in a broader sense the government's ability to respond to crisis because that's like a hot
Really?
topic right now with like sort of China and like North Korea like basically at the nation's borders. um, there's like an increasing push for like remilitarization of the country. And
Japan.
Shin Godzilla kind of taps into that by like having the JSDF DF, basically like the closest thing Japan has to a conventional military, be like a a a competent, if not necessarily effective, presence in the movie at combating Godzilla.
Uh, Three things I want to say there. First, even though you do say this movie is a lot, you did only take one note. Second, the military was shown to be weak, against Godzilla. If anything, it was showing the strength for Godzilla himself. But yeah, that's fine. I'll take that out. Third, it was not really about the response or like their ability to respond to natural disasters. I would say, I mean, it's supposed to be a response for the 2014 Tohoku earthquake and how incompetent they were at doing it, since there was still this really complicated bureaucracy in here. And even though they were all in the same room and someone could have shouted something, they were all just handing papers to each other from the level of the caste system they basically have.
Well, okay. Here's my thing though: is that yes, the JSDF were ultimately ineffective against Godzilla, but the way that they are framed in the movie, it is not by their incompetence; it's by the fact that they are outgunned against Godzilla. Because after the
Uh,
JSDF fail, the thing that like hurts Godzilla is an American like bomber, like what are they called again? Like those jets, those like kind of boomerang shaped jets.
B-17 bomber.
Yeah, those V-17 bombers. Like the JSDF in this movie are like portrayed as professional, competent, like ready to serve. However, they are outgunned by Godzilla. But when the American military comes, Godzilla is for the first time injured by superior weaponry.
No, there's that one time when the Prime Minister went to make a press conference and it's like, hey, it's not gonna go onto land. And then literally the next scene, it went onto land. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that was
It was
funny, and
about
also kind of
incompetency.
yeah, and also like kind of reflective on the. I actually like very recently did a paper on like crisis communication, and
Damn.
that like scene specifically is kind of illustrative of a problem in a lot of crisis communication, which is like, sorry, I just ate soup. Is
You
like
drank
the
soup.
a problem, yeah, a problem that arises in crisis communication where an official will say something and then something will happen to immediately discredit what they're saying, thus causing more panic. I think that was a really fun way of showcasing that aspect of like of the PR aspect of crisis,
PRs.
basically.
First, did you do that for university? Second, did you cite Godzilla 2016?
Uh, First answer, yes. Second answer,
Nice.
I wish I could, but I don't
Damn
think
it.
they would accept that.
Eh, fuck those guys.
Hmm. Yeah. So there is a lot there about like about Japan's military and like the relationship it has with the U.S. like sort of military might that I don't like. I'm comfortable enough discussing it up to that point, but I don't know how much more I can say about it because I am not an expert on U.S. Japan historical and military relations.
uh, I'm not sure if it was necessarily about like the power of their military. Wait, what? Or no, the relationships between Japan and US, stuff like that. Actually, you know what?
Yeah,
I think I should just get into my first
I mean,
note.
okay, to
Okay,
okay, but
yeah.
to that point, there is literally well, like basically the second main character of the story is a U.S. Japan ambassador.
Oh fuck, who's that guy? Was it Yuguchi? Is that someone
No,
else?
it was the lady Kyoko.
Oh, Patterson? The
Yeah,
the
Patterson.
girl who kept speaking English.
Yeah, the girl who kept speaking English. Like she was basically like the second main character, and she was a liaison between Japan and the
Oh
U.S.
fuck.
So
Ow. Wait,
okay,
so
you can get to your what?
was her I don't really know what her purpose was. I don't remember what she did. Was she just like a bridge between US and Japan?
Yeah, basically she was
Oh.
there to kind of help along the U.S. like uh not nuke Godzilla and thus Tokyo with
Nice.
it. She kind of got the ball rolling on that.
Was she the girl that like discovered this scientist in the 1950s that was also talking about Godzilla? I don't remember how
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Oh, so that was who.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, you can get to your first note.
I don't know if there's really much to say, but the you can just agree. This is the one of the reasons why this movie is just so hard to like crack or talk a bunch about is because it's incredibly fast paced. There's just so much to talk about, and everyone in the movie is also saying about stuff. Like
Yeah,
as an example, when anyone anyone tried to introduce a character, like, okay, we gotta get biologists here so they can have a say about Godzilla. The next scene, the next frame, they were right there. There were three of them in the office, and when that other guy called, "Hey, I got a friend in uni. She's gonna help," and she just kind of appeared there silently, as if she was in the room playing with her computer the entire time. I thought that was funny.
yeah.
I think,
I that's like a cut though, right? Like she says,
yeah,
"Hey, there's
cut.
the my friend I had in uni," and then cut, and then it's implied that this is like an hour later or something.
It's
Um,
implied.
yeah, it's funny, but also
What
I
is
think it
happening?
kind of speaks to one of the aspects I really like about this movie is that like this is very much a team effort, you know, like dealing with Godzilla. Because I feel like, and correct me if you feel this is wrong, but I feel like
Mm-hmm.
in most other movies, the solution would just be to have one smart guy and some of his friends deal with Godzilla while everybody else kind of like watches.
Fuck.
Um, but in this movie, like Godzilla is brought down not just by uh, a collaboration between the like public and
The
military
office, the
sectors of
nerds.
Japan's government, but also by like international cooperation with France and Germany and like producers in Hong Kong and stuff. And I don't know, I just thought that was like a really cool moment of like bringing like dealing with a crisis is not only like difficult, but it's also complicated and is a matter of teamwork and not just having one brilliant guy solve the problem.
Darn about that. When you said I thought I was gonna disagree with whatever you were gonna say, but I agree with that statement so fucking much. Every Tinkerbell movie does that. Shit. Thanks for making me realize it.
we should
Okay.
make we should make a comparison video on the
The
themes of the
Tinkerbell and
Tinkerbell movies.
Godzilla.
Yeah, the individualism of the Tinkerbell movies versus the collectivism of the Godzilla of Shin
Collectivism.
Godzilla.
Wait, is
I
collective?
never I never watched your videos. I'm sorry, Nav. I didn't
You're
watch the
welcome.
Tinkerbell ones.
Is is there normally? Oh yeah, actually about that, it's very fast paced. Just gonna reiterate that.
Yeah,
Here's the thing. There's an ongoing trend with these podcast videos. It started with the Gundala one. Basically,
yeah,
I watch another movie in the same day instead of rewatching the movie that I was just gonna talk about. For the
yeah,
Gundala one, instead of rewatching Gundala and having actually good, researched plot holes that I was gonna make myself a fool out of. Instead, I
Yeah.
watched The Forbidden Door, also by Joko Anwar. If you don't remember, that one was about putting like aborted fetuses into statues.
God,
The
he's so weird.
Yeah, but I regret watching all these videos. This time, I rewatched Godzilla 1954. I'm not gonna talk
Oh,
about the thoughts here since we're talking about Shin Godzilla, but I'm just gonna say in that movie, there were entire scenes of just like daily life occurrences that didn't really like they could have if Hideaki Anno directed them, they would have just immediately been cut. There's like a scene of a guy they were just on the motorcycle and then they get off and then they put it in and then there's multiple scenes of just guys walking through doors, even though there's no reason for that. This movie, completely different. No
yeah,
nonsense, cut to something kablam done.
yeah. I do enjoy how, like, despite that, we do get to see how Godzilla affects like people on the ground. Like, there's that moment in the movie where we see like a family trying to evacuate their apartment, but like Godzilla shows up and the apartment building just falls down. We get to see them like fall with it. I think that was like a really effective moment to show like what it's like being a normal person on the ground while Godzilla is in the
Oh, on
area.
the ground. I mean, I think I had a note for that scene as well. It was about how so much fucking effort was put into that one single shot. It was when the apartment was falling over and like all of the furniture was swaying to one side and the children were saying, "Hey, let's get out of here." And the mother was like, "Yeah, let's pack things up." And then she just dies along with the building when Godzilla was
Yeah, yeah.
climbing on top of it.
Yeah, that was this movie has such good scenes showcasing just the scale of what Godzilla is like capable of. Like Godzilla truly like, you know, like I don't watch a lot of kaiju stuff to be fair,
What the
but I feel like
fuck?
Shin Godzilla does like a
Who are
really
you? Okay,
I
continue.
don't I don't. I watch Ultraman, but I don't
That's
know if that
kaiju.
yeah, but the thing about Ultraman is that
Sentai is kaiju.
di- it's different from most other kaiju movies in that there's also a giant hero there, so
Okay.
it kind of like balances out the stakes of the situation.
Man, why the fuck doesn't in any single Godzilla movie, they're just like, hey, if there's a giant monster, let's make a giant man as well.
Literally, they did that like
Oh,
twice.
I'm stupid.
Yeah, it's Mecha Godzilla and Jet Jaguar, the best character
Damn.
ever made.
Ha- a giant man in
Yeah,
super.
he
Oh, wait,
he
Ultraman
is like
form?
he is like blatantly an Ultraman ripoff. Hold on, I'm fucking. I need you to see Jet Jaguar.
Fine. I'll somehow put all these PNGs on top of the screen when I'm editing this. Oh my god. He's
He's
so
so
thin.
good.
Is
His head is
really
so big. But like you can see how like the fin kind of looks like the Ultraman thing.
does he okay, if they do this, if they cross his arms and then a beam comes out of it, he's gonna sue.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, what was I even fucking saying? Oh yeah, Godzilla. Like the
Really?
way that like the way um they portray Godzilla's destruction in this movie is very affecting. I like uh especially I like how there are a lot of shots once again from on the ground where we get to see just how much Godzilla dwarfs everything around him. Like,
Oh my god. There's that
yeah,
one fucking awesome scene where he was just piling through the river and giant yeah, piles of boats were just climbing on top of each other and then infecting the buildings and the water is coming on top of
yeah,
them as
yeah.
well.
Just like the domino effect of a creature of Godzilla's weight and size, just like perfectly captured on the screen. I think like the 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 panic and like manic energy of the human scenes of this movie like are contrasted really well with just like the almost serene chaos of
He's
Godzilla's
giant.
destruction. It's a beaut. It makes for a beautiful effect.
Damn.
Where the amount of time we spend with the human characters feels like very justified because we just saw what Godzilla can do, and we are right there with the characters figuring out, okay, how the fuck are we gonna do this shit?
It's a fucking beautiful diorama. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. Just like speaking of beautiful, the fucking atomic breath scene in this movie.
Oh my god.
It's
I came.
yeah. Does classical music play over it? I remember classical music playing over it.
No, it was a lot better than that. It was like Latin chanting.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Like like just the way the beam, because like I feel like in most uh I've seen clips of a lot of Godzilla stuff, but I feel like in most portrayals of Godzilla's atomic breath, it's it's like a fire breath. It's like a dragon. It's a it it's
Wait, was it not
it feels.
always like
Hmm?
a giant beam? Was it normally fire, or was it always a beam?
Um. Again, I haven't seen a lot of kaiju stuff,
Godzilla,
but
damn.
yeah, but like yeah, just the thin beam, it's just like the slightest like movement instantly cutting through like every building in Tokyo is just
So
beautiful. And like
beautiful.
this the shot of Godzilla's
Yeah.
silhouette in the fire, like
Oh
that
god.
there are moments in this movie where like the CGI kind of like, shows its cracks a little bit.
I
I
can't
kind of felt
recall.
that I kind of felt that with this scene, but I think it kind of works in this scene because it makes this feel have this like almost ethereal, like nightmarish quality. The scene of Godzilla in the fire, like his silhouette, looks like a painting.
Oh god, it's so hauntingly beautiful, you know?
It's great. It's great.
Yeah, hauntingly beautiful is something. Haunting magnificence is something that I would definitely describe this movie. If you know, from
Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
scale of the plague scene from The Prince of Egypt and the first episode of Oz, I'd give it 10.
Wait, which was that a ranking or what?
Yes.
Okay, so wait, the first episode of O's is the top or the bottom of that ranking?
It was the second, so it's the top. It's the best thing
Okay.
ever made. Did you watch the plague
Wait, there's
scene?
that one bit in the
Yeah.
there was that one bit in O's episode 1 that I always really like, which is just like be uh like the
Happy
initial scene when Ankh
birthday to
first.
you.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just thinking happy birthday to you because that's what it was in the scene.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The fucking I didn't know what to expect when I first watched O's, but the scene
No
in
one
the
does.
beginning where the greed just like obliterate those fucking ride vendor troopers is just it's incredible. It perfectly prepares you for the show, I think.
I mean, it wasn't
Yeah.
that dark for the rest of it, but I will say, really the cherry on top. I wouldn't have put it as high as it would if, who was that guy? Kogami, I think, wasn't singing happy birthday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Speaking of Kamen Rider, watching this movie really does make me so interested what a Hideaki Anno Kamen Rider is going to look like.
The closest you're ever gonna get is probably Gaim
The
for
closest I'm ever going to
depression and
get
stuff.
is the 2023 Shin Kamen Rider movie being
Oh, I
directed
didn't know that.
by Hideaki Anno. Yeah.
I'm an idiot. It's
Yeah,
Amazon.
Hideaki Anno is making a Kamen Rider movie. It's going to be out in 2023.
Shit.
Um, and we don't have a trailer for it just yet. We do have like a teaser image, and it's Rider One in like a trench coat.
Rider one in a trench coat. That sounds awesome. Does he get a cape?
It I mean his scarf is basically a cape.
Oh, Hello and welcome to the Common Writer section of the Shin
I
Godzilla
mean,
review.
with
I
with
wanna.
I mean, it's what Hideaki Anno would have wanted.
Oh my fucking god, that looks epic. Is that. Wait, is that
It looks
a
so cool.
poster?
What?
Is that the
That's it. What?
promotional material? Is that like
Yeah,
fan art or promotional material?
no, it's the teaser image. I don't know if that's gonna be
Oh,
the actual
nice.
poster.
Uh,
Yeah.
wait.
But like Hideaki Anno, I've only seen Shin Godzilla, but from what I know of his work, but you know, what has he made besides this? He's made Evangelion, obviously.
Mm-hmm. He
Hideaki,
made a romance anime. I forgot what else he made.
he made Cutie Honey a Go Go.
Oh wait, did he? Are you searching his wiki page right now?
Yes, I'm searching his wiki
Jesus.
page. He made yeah his okay wait yeah it's mostly Evangelion stuff. Oh, he did make the Cutie Honey movie.
Nice.
Okay,
Very
so
dark.
yeah, but like I feel like a lot of Hideaki Anno's most popular stuff, Godzilla, like the stuff he's most well known for, which
Godzilla.
is Godzilla and Evangelion. You know, those are like cosmic horrors.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, like you could say Godzilla is like an existential horror for the
He's
fate of
not
humanity.
from
He's kind of
space.
he's from space. There is a space Godzilla. I hope you understand.
Yeah, I'm sure there was.
No, there is. He's got
Okay.
like big spikes because he's got
All
space
of them
radiation.
do.
Yeah, but anyway, he's kind of framed that way in the movie. Like characters say that he's more evolved than humanity. He's the ultimate life form.
Damn.
Faker, I think you're the fake Godzilla around
The fuck are you
here.
talking about?
They call him the ultimate life form.
Oh, I didn't get it at first. You know,
Yeah,
the original
yeah,
1954 one, he wasn't really called the ultimate life form. I thought that's where they got it from, but no. He was just kind
yeah,
of a
no,
radioactive fish.
yeah. Was he called a dinosaur in the original?
I'm pretty sure he wasn't. Oh wait, no, no, no,
Okay.
no, no, no. Let me correct you on that. There was an entire presentation some nerd did in the court. It's like, uh, used to be a tadpole question mark.
Oh yeah, he
He was in the paleontology or something era.
Shin Godzilla. I remember being like some kind of yeah, yeah. But like Shin Godzilla is like an existential threat to humanity on like a like evolutionary scale. And then I haven't watched Evangelion, but I hear that third impact
Me
or that
neither.
first impact, second impact. I don't know,
The
one of
third
those
one
impacts. Yeah, I hear that third impact gets real wild. Um,
gets real wild.
yeah, so I'm really curious how he what he does with like a more street level hero like Kamen Rider, because the other Hideaki Anno movie that's going to be coming out is Shin Ultraman, and that's also another like giant like scale sort of hero and monster kind of fight.
Yeah, we don't know what it's gonna be about. Maybe he's the
Mm.
Lovecraftian monster or something.
Yeah, I would kill for a Lovecraftian like sort of rendition of Rider One. That would be so cool.
Damn. Okay. I have a question that's kind of awkward to bring in now. I've heard there was a new Kamen Rider, but is it going to be fucking Shinobi? I don't remember what year it came out. It's supposed to come
Sh-
out, I mean.
Shinobi is supposed to come out in 2022. So Toei still got 1 year left before
Wait.
we raid their
Oh.
houses and kill them all.
Wait, 2019. That was Geo. 2020.
No, 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 no.
Oh, 28.
2018.
Oh, I'm a
Yeah,
fucking idiot.
2018 was Yo, then 01, then Saber. Uh,
2021?
yeah. Okay, no, because Rider season is kind of like they go on for they take place over 2 years. So
Really? No,
yeah, okay. So
4 years
so
maybe.
so 01 ended in 2019. Started no 01 started 2019, ended 2020.
Okay.
Saber started 2020, ended 2021, and Revise. is starting 2021 and is going to end in 2022, and then after that we're going to get Shinobi finally, and then resolve
Yeah.
the the uh, the uh, the cliffhanger from
I
that special.
mean,
Please, please, please.
until Quiz comes out,
Quiz, I think like is 2045 or something.
hopefully they remember.
I remember because for like a good 2 months I was a Kamen
Because
Rider
we
Quiz
never
stan.
forget. Wasn't
Like I
he?
just, huh?
Wasn't he the gold guy in Ninja?
No, he was the Red Ranger in Go Buster.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I genuinely loved Kamen Rider Quiz. There was something about the guy that just made me go, "Yes, you're the Zio character that I'm gonna kin."
I love Kamen Rider Quiz from Shin Godzilla. Fuck. What's my
I
next
loved
note?
it. Uh, um, I have the first episode of Revice downloaded. Actually, I'm probably gonna watch it after this.
Ah, fuck, should I? Oh yeah. You know, you know what? I'll just keep that to the end. Okay, there's one note here. It's kind of short and dumb. Godzilla. You remember in the middle of the movie, Godzilla was revealed again to have come out. I think it's the one where there were three encounters, or four, was it? I don't remember. The first one, he came out of the ocean. The second one, they came a bit more prepared and started just fucking waiting on him with military weapons. The
Yeah,
second time, I really like the way it was revealed. So in the scene before he was revealed, it was just about a guy, and he was just saying like, "Oh fuck, I haven't taken in a shower in like days." And then we see
yeah,
him sleeping inside an office the next shot. And
yeah,
the way he was revealed is that a guy just slams the door when he opens it and then
yeah.
shouts to him saying, "Hey, Godzilla's up again." Damn. And then that's how we know. We don't even
Babe, 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 wake up! New Godzilla dropped.
It's I really expected the second Godzilla, the way he was revealed, it's just okay, he's woken up again. We see a shot of him waking up. But no, it's just how someone would actually know Godzilla would have
Yeah,
woken up again.
yeah. Would learn that like yeah. It's like the Toho universe equivalent of like uh, dude, the president just got assassinated. Um,
Morons.
I will say the scene you were mentioning before that of like the guy who's going like, God, I haven't taken a shower. I really like that scene because like I think it really showcases some much needed
Yeah,
humanity
humanity.
in a moment where like we've mostly just been seeing Godzilla destroy stuff.
Uh, I mean, there's also it wasn't really humanity. It was mostly just really confident bureaucracy
No, no,
talking.
like sort of the scene around that piece of dialogue where like the reason he hasn't showered in a while is because Rando has been like working so hard, and all his
Hmm.
coworkers are like, "Hey, dude, like eat something, get some rest, shower. We all got to be stay healthy, stay prepared. I really like that scene. I feel like it was a very warm, sort of tender scene in a moment of otherwise like it gave me the vibes of like
Giant Godzilla outdoors. Yeah.
yeah, it gave me the vibes of like, these are like people who respect each
Uh,
other and
a,
like
a fluff
are are, are
fanfic.
at least fond of each other, and they're trying to get each other through this very difficult situation. I thought that was like a very well needed moment of respite in the movie. Very well
Yeah.
placed.
This is the part where all the cute scene where all the fanboys go on and then make fluff fanfics. Good for them.
There are
Honestly.
19. There are 19. No wait, I was thinking of the Scott the Woz
Godzilla.
fanfics.
There's Godzilla fanfics?
Yeah, of course there is. Hold
Fuck.
on. I was looking through them before this.
I was
Sean Godzilla.
I just don't do they have giant intermittent sex in the city?
People fucking write smut of Godzilla and Mothra, dude.
And then they have sex and destroy tons of buildings in the process.
I mean, yeah, sure. Okay, there are. Hold on. There are 7 works in the Reiwa Godzilla.
Wait, above 2020 E?
Yeah,
Is it?
no, Reiwa Godzilla would not be Shin Godzilla, would
Wait, wouldn't that just be King Kong versus Godzilla? Is that the only new one?
it? Yeah, I can't believe the Reiwa Godzilla is just King Kong. There are
I
12
don't
works
understand.
in Shin Godzilla in the Shin Godzilla tag.
Shin Godzilla and who?
It's
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 just
it's not it's not about
yeah, I
Godzilla.
know.
It's like Rando and his
Bethesda,
politician friends.
fuck you. I don't honestly I don't think they deserve fanfics. I mean, of course I know they're gonna exist, but really there wasn't enough introduction or character introduced in them. I remember that one scene where he was like shouting about the old prime minister dying, but I don't remember what he was really shouting about. What
Hmm.
an asshole.
There are 109 fics on AO3 tag Godzilla slash Mothra.
Yes. How does Godzilla fly fuck in the air?
By God, they're breeding.
Okay, there has to be a Godzilla movie. I saw there were like little raptor babies around Godzilla once.
Yeah. Um. Hey, did you like the bit at the end of the movie where we got to see the end of Godzilla's tail after he's been frozen?
Yes. What about it?
Did that like register as anything to you? Because I had to like look up what that was to like figure out what was going on. I didn't know it was like like I kind of got the vibe things were coming out of it, but I wasn't quite sure.
Honestly, when I was watching it, I thought it was like some metaphorical thing about how humans are like climbing up and reaching to the top so they could get on top of the evolutionary line and become the best thing ever or something. And then I had searched up and I know what it really means, so.
Man, that would have been real weird if at the end, like in the space that the movie has established as real, we just cut to something entirely metaphorical.
Yeah, sounds kind of, whatchamacallit, pretentious. Hideaki's like
Also,
that.
I did find Peter Griffin slash Godzilla fanfic.
Yes. How does that even work? Godzilla doesn't even speak.
Why is this? Why is this tagged with radioactive Imagine Dragons?
Uh, with Godzilla?
What?
With Godzilla? The song? What?
The
Uh,
fic is tagged with song radioactive Imagine Dragons.
oh, for fuck's sake. How do you.
Do you want me to read the summary?
Fine.
Godzilla is having some issues with his polyamorous relationship between Mothra and King Kong. Having
King
to
Kong.
cope, he uses the one thing he's good at, but he doesn't tell Peter Griffin that his juice are deadly.
Peter Griffin.
This is a fic called Radioactive by Lucky Cherry. Please show them some love.
Hello, and welcome to the best section of the Shin Godzilla review. We just kind of read fanfics now.
No, no,
ASMR. No.
yeah,
Ah.
no.
About that.
Um,
Actually, we should just say
one
that to the end.
one thing I did think of while scrolling for the AO3 tag. I How do you feel about the last bit of the movie where they like figure out a plan to beat Godzilla? Because I like the planning part of that like section, but when they actually execute on it and like the way Godzilla's taken down feels like a little too easy considering everything we've just seen before that.
Watching. Oh, about that, like the concept of like here's a plan and then we're gonna execute it. I kind of almost expected because I'm just structurally wrong. I expected that plan to not work, and then they had a plan B that would actually destroy Godzilla, but no, the plan
Yeah, the plane just
kind of
went off
worked.
without a hitch.
Yeah,
Yeah, which is
not really without a hitch.
yeah,
The
yeah.
first guy.
Some people died. but basically
It's
without a
Godzilla.
hitch. Yeah. Yeah, like it's so weird to me that the plan just worked. I guess because I'm used to seeing movies where they try a plan and then it doesn't work and then they go to plan B.
Yeah.
It also just feels weird to me that this version of Godzilla gets like phased by like exploding trains when before the only thing that could hurt him was like literally one of the strongest like aerial weapons in
I
the
don't
world.
think they expected him to like get damage from it, just like to stop him. And also
Yeah.
I think it was sort of made up by the really cool action scenes, like they drop a giant fucking building on top of him. That's cool. You also
Yeah,
get to
yeah,
see
that was cool.
like the office changing its
Yeah.
gravity onto the windows.
Yeah.
What was it?
And yeah. And I guess the way it kind of registered in my mind was that I'm so used to buildings in giant
So
like
used to
monster productions
buildings.
base. Yeah, like I'm so used to buildings in giant monster productions just being not a thing. Like they don't like they're not made of anything really. You can just kind of move through them with minimal damage to yourself. But in this movie, I guess it would make sense that dropping an entire skyscraper would hurt more
Yeah.
than getting bombed.
Mm, I don't know. In Sentai, they made really wide streets and almost never touch the buildings. They normally explode them sometimes.
Yeah, but like, an Ultraman usually like the Ultraman gets like punched through a building or something and like it's more the punch that hurts them than hitting the building.
Yeah. One thing, the more I think about it, this movie is more of a comedy movie than I imagined. There was so many little moments that I didn't expect to just laugh out loud.
Yeah,
One
this
example. Yeah.
the obvious joke of the movie is the bit where like the new prime minister gets instated and then like he gets like a bowl of noodles and then he goes, "Oh, the noodles are soggy. I knew this job would be hard."
I laughed. I mean, there was this one other obvious scene where the guy looks at his computer and then he gets a big eureka moment. He jumps out of his seat, screams, and then
Mhm.
runs around the room.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I thought Yaguchi's little task force was very charming, all their performances.
I fucking love the lady they grabbed in the beginning, the uni student. She's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Well, the deadpan one or
Is there another one? The deadpan one, probably.
yeah. Yeah. Hiromi. The fuck yeah, the nerd with like the whole team of scientists, which is very charming, and I think they really like gave some like life and energy to this movie that it wouldn't be the same without.
Yeah, much needed humanity when Godzilla's destroying stuff. Is
Yeah, yeah. I can't think of a bad performance in this movie except for maybe Patterson.
okay.
She's a little bit just
I
because of the English stuff.
I legitimately don't like both of her English and Japanese accents. Like both just sound weird.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe Patterson's actress, she could do a little better,
It's
but I think
okay.
everybody else is pretty good.
Okay. I just want to mention this one part. There's that one guy asking, what is Godzilla's behavioral biology? And then it cuts to someone saying, it just moves, and then it cuts away. It was funny.
It's yeah, I do like that concept though. That God's like all of this destruction just because Godzilla needs to get from point A to point B.
Why is cutting so funny? Okay.
Yeah.
One. There's that one time.
Mm.
Godzilla at the start when he was just. I don't really get this part. Godzilla when he already transformed and he saw the helicopters going up them. The prime minister saw some civilians and he's just like, okay, we can't let the civilians under fire. So there's like, okay, don't fire the missiles. And then Godzilla, I thought it was just like some weird, what was it, Universal Tokusatsu thing where just because the good guy made did a good thing. The monster just stops doing whatever they're doing, and then B's nice, and then doesn't interfere. I I heard it was because he needed cooling. You remember that?
Yeah, because Godzilla's whole thing in this movie is that he's like everything he does overheats him, so he has to like take moments to cool down. He's like a lizard,
Oh.
is what I understood.
No, he's a walking nuclear reactor. That's how they.
Yeah, yeah. He's a walking atomic reactor, and he needs some moments to cool down, or else he'll probably just literally explode.
Was part of that. Call it? Was part of that consequence was him vomiting a bunch of blood? Is that something that happened?
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's probably radiation poisoning.
Oh. Have you
Yeah,
seen the concept art of this thing?
the concept art.
If you haven't, there's this one scene that was cut from the movie when he was
Hmm.
going to be vomiting blood. There's supposed to be like eyes coming out of it as well, and they were supposed to be
Oh,
moving, so he's like every part of him is alive or something. It's
I think
fucking
that'd be a little.
awesome.
Yeah, I think
But
maybe that's a little
too
too
dark
too
for
silly.
general audiences, I guess.
Yeah, and also just a little too over the top because I feel like otherwise this is a pretty grounded Godzilla movie by comparison.
I mean, I haven't watched any of the ones where Godzilla comes from space, or there's a giant
Yeah,
Godzilla's made out of mechs, but okay.
yeah, or the one where he teams up with Jet Jaguar.
What the fuck? Godzilla has like a code of morale and teams up with Jet fucking
Yeah, yeah.
Jaguar?
So here's the thing with Godzilla is that he's supposed to be this like metaphor for like the atomic bomb and like the horrors of post World War like stuff like that. In the sequels, they just kind of make him a good guy at some point.
Okay.
He just like that's why
Who's
that's why Ghidorah exists, that like giant three-headed dragon. That's the guy that Godzilla fights, so that Godzilla
uh
looks better by comparison.
I was gonna say if Godzilla's the fucking good guy, who's the bad guy?
Yeah,
There
that's why Ghidorah exists. That's why all the other Toho monsters exist, just so that
okay.
Godzilla can be compared to something worse than him, so that he can be the
Damn.
good guy.
Where do they all come from?
I think Ghidorah is like a god.
Uh Wait, Godzilla's still made of out of radiation, right?
Yeah, he's still like a radioactive hell beast. Hold on.
But gods also exist. Okay.
Yeah, no, Mothra is a god.
Oh. I thought he
Yeah.
was a radioactive moth.
No, Mothra is like a protector deity. She's a good guy.
Oh.
Um, yeah. Well, the backstories kind of change around because the Godzilla universe is a very loose continuity. Yeah, okay. In its debut film, Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, Ghidorah is portrayed as an ancient extraterrestrial entity responsible for the destruction of the Venusian civilization 5,000 years before the film's events. Its attempt to destroy Earth is thwarted by the combined efforts of Godzilla, Rodan, and Mothra.
Rodan. Wait, who is the evil guy? Who?
Ghidorah, the three-headed
Oh.
dragon.
This.
Yeah, that's one of the funny things about the Godzilla franchise. Eventually, they just made Godzilla a good guy. It's kind of like how in every like horror movie that becomes a franchise, the horror serial killer kind of ends up being the good
I
guy
have
because he's
no
the
idea what
only
you're talking about.
person who like stays consistent throughout the movies.
Just like Saw or
Yeah,
Jaws.
it's so God, I should watch more Godzilla movies. The Especially
Uh,
the bad ones.
I don't. Who the fuck? They're all. Just a question. They're all Showa, right? It's mostly just a bunch of guys in suits punching each other.
Yeah, yeah. There are. I mean, the kaiju verse also has a Showa Heisei era. Um,
Showa Heisei. There's
yeah,
Heisei
yeah,
stuff?
yeah. There's Heisei stuff which is but the this franchise
Please.
defines that as 1991 to 1998. So
Okay, please have shitty 2000 CG in them. I would love to see it.
I would love that. Oh my God, there's a Mecha King Ghidorah.
Mecha King Ghidorah.
King Ghidorah's body stays under the ocean for 2 centuries before being recovered by a defected Earth Unionist to make it a cyborg and sent back to
What?
1991 as
Fuck
Mecha King
you.
Ghidorah.
I don't understand why they make mechs of the evil thing. Why do we have the technology and why did he make Mecha Godzilla?
It's I remember like the a video someone made about like kaiju, like the trope, and like they were like, but Guillermo del Toro had what was the one man brave enough to say it. If giant monsters truly existed, we would make giant robots to punch them in the face.
Yeah. Hey, uh, real question, where's Mecha Godzilla from? Did
Mechagodzilla is from the 1974 film Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla.
did the humans make Mecha Godzilla?
In its first movie, Mechagodzilla is depicted as an extraterrestrial villain that confronts
Oh,
Godzilla. In subsequent
what?
iterations, Mechagodzilla is depicted as a man-made weapon designed to defend Japan from Godzilla.
Man-made, but it's from extraterrestrial.
That's in the first movie. In all other
Oh my
movies,
gosh.
they remake it so that it's a human thing. Oh my
Nice.
fucking. The Godzilla franchise is one rich with weird bullshit. And I think I would love
Go
it profusely if I
myself.
actually watched it.
Shin Godzilla is a disgrace.
To the franchise.
0 out of 10. That's it.
Zero, zero
I
out of
think,
10, no Mothra sex scene.
I think that about covers it. What else do you have
Yeah, I
to
think
say?
um what do I have to say?
Just
I guess my closing thoughts on the movie is that I you know, I truly do think that uh especially having watched like a bunch of MCU movies for research purposes, I found it very cathartic to watch a
it's
movie
very
that
cathartic.
was about like a collective of people trying to survive a horrible event together and coming through the other end stronger for it. Because I feel like the sort of single great man narrative kind of gets
Uh, I don't know. Yaguchi was kind of clutching everyone. Yaguchi was the one who was like, hey, let's make a Godzilla
or
rebellion
like this
force.
large scale like this was like large scale production was about like a whole society sort of coming together. I thought that was a really cool aspect of the movie, and you know I very much appreciate it. It's a trend I see in a lot of the toku stuff that I like. That's kind of about you know people coming together as opposed to like one hero saving the day.
I
Um,
don't know. Yaguchi was kind of clutching everyone. I think he was the one that made the superhero force.
yeah, but like I mean, it's also made apparent that Yaguchi like like it's also made apparent that Yaguchi needed to like contract a bunch of people, make a lot of phone calls, and those
Fucking
characters then
phone
had to
calls.
also make phone calls. Yaguchi
Phone
was like
calls,
the
the
start of
movie.
Yaguchi was the start of the chain. He wasn't like the whole thing.
Um, yeah, I think I'll just conclude this podcast with my own main message of what I think the movie's about and my own personal rating, I guess. I think
Mm-hmm.
the message is pretty straightforward. In the first encounter, no one was like ready, and the government was scrambling, trying to calm the public's nerve as well as take control of the situation and stuff like that. But the way they handled it with the bureaucracy and the communication between the chain of command, the caste system, was real dumb, real efficient. inefficient, slow, overall fucking terrible. Like that scene where every government official is in the same room, and they can just talk about each other, and any second the citizens might have died and all that. They realized the government themselves handle things is just bad at dealing with real high emergency stuff like natural disasters. So they decided to get the actual best people at dealing with Godzilla, otaku who are obsessed with finding the resolution, autists, fucking autists. They found an innovative way to do it by making a coagulant that could freeze Godzilla instead of nuke that thing, because they tried to destroy the big destroying everything monster with an even bigger destroying thing, which coincidentally was the message of Godzilla 1954 by making the oxygen destroyer. Whatever. Godzilla, who in the movie and this one was the ultimate life form who could evolve immediately instead of over millions of years, the solution was just to evolve and adapt as well by changing the government, normally handling things to this raging group of nerds who are actually better at doing their job.
Do you have this bit pre-written?
Yes,
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm a great rambler. Second, I think this movie is a 10 out of 10. It's fucking beautiful. It's one of the scariest cosmic horror movies ever made. It's one of the accidentally funniest movies ever made. It's just
Yeah.
a daunting piece of haunting magnificence that will hold up for the rest of the years. 10 out of 10.
Jet Jaguar, baby.
Jaguar.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Watch Jet Jaguar. That's the real moral.